What is up, everybody, and welcome back to The Intern. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. Are these rookies fool's gold or real gold? Today, we're going to go through, I think there's seven something of the rookies that really stand out to me that, of course, I think a lot of people are going to also look at and really stand out. And we're going to talk about, is it real? Is it false? Are they really good rookies? Are they really just faking it a little bit? We're going to go through it. I have a lot of reasons for this, but again, I need to say, if you believe in some certain way, that's on you. If you're also seeing me move a lot, one, I have an elbow injury and a heating pack on it, so trying to get it a little fixed. Kind of just moved in a way that kind of hurt, not going to lie, so if you see me wince in pain, that's why. Two, in a different location like where I usually record, but we always got to get these videos done on the channel. We always going to get some content for you guys. So, are these rookies fool's gold or real gold? So, let's get started with Zaccahrie Risacher. So, I need to say that fool's gold and real's gold kind of is not subjective, but depends on certain things. So, for example, Zaccahrie right now, #1 overall pick. Is he the real deal? Is he kind of giving a false, maybe perspective because of injuries? For me, I'm going to say he's either going to be the same throughout his career, where he's some games he's going off, but most games he's kind of consistent, or fool's gold. Because I feel in my sense that Zaccahrie Risacher, for where he was drafted, truthfully, should be a all-star, good player. I'm feeling more of a mid-tier Andrew Wiggins kind of pick, where Andrew Wiggins maybe was an all-star once, fraudulent all-star starter, let me say that. But I'm feeling that Zaccahrie Risacher will more than likely get a little bit better, but he's still going to be the same guy and a 3-and-D player. I think that's what we're looking at, where there's going to be some games, maybe some stretches that he's doing really good. I mean, right now, people are thinking, okay, he's looking really good for the Atlanta Hawks. They've had injuries. They are losing a ton of players. I guess when time comes on, of course, they're going to elevate and be better, but Jalen Johnson is the focal point, and Jalen Johnson plays almost the exact same position as Zaccahrie Risacher, whereas Risacher could probably be in different positions as Jalen Johnson, but Jalen Johnson will be the focal point. Trae Young, if he leaves, it's kind of scary for Zaccahrie. I just have to believe that he gives a 3-and-D kind of player, which is good in today's NBA, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be the superstar that you're hoping at #1. Up next is Alexander Sarr. Alex Sarr. Do I see real gold or fool's gold? I'm going to say slight fool's gold. Now, I would have to say this. What he's doing right now is very great, very good. He's a good young prospect. But. And this is with the Washington Wizards in general. Bub Carrington, for example, is somebody that I don't have on this list, but gets me a little scared. The Washington Wizards are very young in their rebuild. When you look at teams when they're very young in their rebuild, there's players that stick out that are going to stay. There's players that obviously, they're going to be there, but they're going to maybe not be as great as you would hope when they first started. When I think about this, I think about, Thunder with Josh Giddey. I think about Spurs with Keldon Johnson. There's a lot of players that once players come around, touches change, things has changed, talent changes. Alexander Sarr right now is the #1 guy, in my opinion, when it comes to talent-wise moving forward for them. But Wizards have probably 2 to 3 more years being bad, where they're going to have to get more players in, and you're going to see them at the top of the lottery. More than likely, Alexander Sarr is going to fall to the second or the third best player in a limited role, where I do believe that his scoring side is going to stay the same where it's kind of at right now. Maybe his blocks can get better, but it's really going to be that traditional center that can also be a stretch center. Now, is that great for a second pick? Maybe not, but right now I say slight fool's gold because he's outplaying a lot of people and he's doing very, very well. But I don't believe 100% that's going to be just an indicator that he's going to keep growing. I have an indicator that the Wizards are doing this good because he's one of the, not even the focal points in their offense right now. It's because he's not, and he's kind of still using as young. But they still kind of have a lot of talent to go, and he's one of the people that are getting a lot of the touches when I think a talent's going to come in and take away those touches. Up next, we have Steohon Castle. I have slight Rio. Now, I believe Steohon Castle is playing amazing right now, especially these stretches are going to kind of show what he is doing right now is going to be real. But I have slight Rio because let's be realistic here. Steohon Castle will likely be the 1 or 2 for the future, which is crazy to say because you would think Devin Vassell would be the 2 for the future. Now, with the Spurs, of course they can easily make a trade. Of course they don't need the picks right away. But more than likely, this season, they're going to have 2 more picks come in. You're probably looking at somewhere in the power forward center depth, then maybe guard position because they're very weak in the guard position. Then after that, they have even more picks coming up the next year. So for me, when I'm looking at this, if they kind of have replaceables where if Steohon Castle doesn't perform, he can be replaced. If they're wanting to kind of be somewhere where, and I mean, they have De'Aaron Fox now. I keep forgetting that. De'Aaron Fox, it's kind of already kicking out his little things. They're going to have some players come in. More than likely, just more young talent's going to come in. Contracts are going to happen. It's looking like Steohon Castle will be the 2 for the future, but in a stacked place with De'Aaron Fox, with Wemby, with Vassell, with more picks coming in that could be high picks, whatever it might be, chances are that Steohon Castle and the future of Steohon Castle might not be as good as what people think, aka I've seen Jason Kidd plus predictions, which is not going to happen in my opinion. Now, it's still going to be good, yes, but I think there's a little bit of a false narrative on saying how real it is, but Steohon Castle, I would have to say, is slight real for now. Up next, we have Donovan Clingan. I have real gold. Now, you might want to come at me for this, but I don't believe so, because the Trailblazers were so big on Donovan Clingan that they drafted him even having DeAndre Ayton. And Donovan Clingan, when he starts, has had amazing, amazing games. And I have to believe when DeAndre Ayton, when there's not really that center depth, Clingan can still produce at that level. I believe Clingan is a player of the future for the Portland Trailblazers. I think you look at his blocks, you look at his numbers when it's coming to rebounds. It's out of this world. They can win those categories for you. And I believe that Donovan Clingan is the real deal. I mean, you look at the center position in the NBA where most of the center positions these days are kind of getting limited and there's not really a lot of great centers. I mean, obviously there is good centers, but I think that, it's starting to fill in now. And I think Donovan Clingan is going to be one of those traditional centers that's doing very good and is going to stay in the Blazers. And I have to believe that the Blazers are going to keep developing him and use him very well as a center. Up next is Ware. I have same/real gold. Now, the reason I have same is because I believe that this Ware that's playing out of his mind is going to be what Ware kind of somewhat becomes. But I have to say real gold because I do see him, continuing to be good. He's a second-year guy, so when I see second-year guy, I don't put too much hype into him compared to maybe a one-year guy doing this, but still very good. Bam is going to be there for a long term. Tyler Hero is going to be there for a long term. He's succeeding with both of them. It just shows that he's probably real gold. Now, how well does this gold become? I've seen people think that he's going to be an all-star in the next 2 years. I don't really see that. I also believe that this Miami Heat team need more to succeed for sure. And when you're in a scenario like that, for example, gets you a little worrisome because if they need more than what's going on now, change is going to happen and change could hurt Ware more than help in my opinion. Unless he's traded somewhere, I would have to believe that if they bring in a small forward, they bring in a shooting guard, a power forward would be horrible. Ware's touches might be taken away from him. Up next, we have Jared McCain. I'm going to go real gold. Now, Jared McCain's first run was kind of because you can say it was real or not because of the injuries that were going on. More likely than not, after he was playing with kind of Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, I don't think at the exact same time because everyone was injured, Jared McCain was still looking great. And you know what? I have to say it. I think this is a real superstar coming up. I don't think maybe this whole class is very hard to say who's going to be the all-stars of this class. I don't think that there's really that much all-stars in my opinion. But Jared McCain for the 76ers for the future could be, because the way his player type is catch and shoot, shooter, score. That's what you need on every single team. And for the 76ers to have him as a rookie and a potential rebuild looming, you could take away Paul George, you could take away Embiid, it's even Tyrese Maxey. Jared McCain's going to get his when they rebuild, and truthfully, even if he's the second or third guy coming up in the future, he's still going to get his because he's the scorer on the team. And I have to just believe Jared McCain is probably real gold that I could see becoming a true all-star later on in life. Up next, we have Dalton Knecht. I'm saying same or fool's gold. I'm saying the same in the sense of this is the Dalton Knecht we see, or fool's gold in if you believe that he's going to become this all-star. The reason why is because he's a 5-year starter, if I'm not mistaken, a 5-year rookie. He's going to come out and obviously look very, very good right away because he's developed enough. He's going to be able to score right away. And he's kind of going to be a player that I believe to be moved around a lot, but he's going to know how to score. I mean, he can shoot the 3 ball, he can do this, but he's going to be limited on everything else. If you want to score on your team, Dalton Knecht is there, but other than that, it's not looking good in my opinion. And I just got to believe that Dalton Knecht, yes, might look amazing at the beginning of the season, and you might really latch on to him because of that. But if the Lakers are ready to move on from him, then I have to believe Dalton Knecht is probably also not going to be as great. I just think that there is a little bit of a an all around kind of, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. There's kind of like a cap at his all-around capabilities, but I still have to believe that Dalton Knecht can still score the ball, but he's reliant. There you go. He relies a lot on the teammates around him, which could hurt his value. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.